as fucked up as everything is and as scary as everything is right now, like something is going to change. Something has to change, dude. So many people are speaking out. Like this was like the last straw. Like I've never seen anything like this. Okay, guys. Well, first of all, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to episode 15. And obviously there is a whole lot going on in the world, in the news. And we as two white men obviously are not we're not the people who have all the information and whose voices need to be amplified right now. But I think it is important that we address what is happening and at least, do whatever we can in our power as two white men with not any big platform, but just a platform that anyone else would have. And I think it's our duty to use this time that we might have your attention to spread awareness, to advocate for Black voices and Black lives, and to advocate for the fact that that our white friends, our white content creator friends, just white people with an Instagram account, to be actively sharing, supporting, and uplifting Black voices and the Black community as a whole right now. James Corden, I was watching a James Corden video, his response, and I think he said something that kind of resonated with me, and it was, he said, how can the Black community dismantle a problem it didn't create? And I think it's 100% correct. Like, we need to be out there. Obviously, protesting isn't for everyone. I totally understand, especially in a place like Los Angeles. It's very dangerous. It's a very dangerous place to be. And I totally 100% respect the people that are out there doing it right now, putting their lives literally on the line. But I understand that protesting isn't for everyone. So there are other things you can be doing. You can be signing petitions. You can be supporting Black-owned businesses, whether that's, like Etsy shops, or whether that's restaurants, or whether that's whatever. You can be sharing infographics about things related to protests, things related to bail bonds, things related to anything of that nature. And just in general, you can be donating also, if you have the means to. But there are, don't think that just because I can't get out there and protest, or, I'm not in a city that has these big protests, that you can't do anything, because you can, and you should.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's pretty much like the same sentiment I feel too. Like we are two very privileged white men and, like our whole thing is about kind of, I don't really know how to like put this shit into words. I've been thinking about this for like days too, where it's like, we aren't here to like make our voices heard. We're just supposed to be here as like a landing point for the people who need to be heard. So like,
right,
what we need to be using our voice for is pushing forth those that are usually lost, like behind it. So yeah, absolutely. Like what Nick said, if you like, it's not a competition either. Like you don't like, just because you see someone post like, oh, they donated like $1,000 or something to something, like that shouldn't be like I can't achieve that, so like it doesn't matter. Like that's the same shit where it's like, oh, like my one vote's not gonna matter. Like it does. It absolutely does.
Same mentality. Yeah.
So like, just a little bit here and there, like these are things that like we need to be supporting, and we need to be pushing forward and doing what we can to, make those voices heard and like support these communities that have, been systematically pushed away for centuries. So yeah, we're gonna try to keep this like light, but we just really needed to like say this stuff up front and just kind of like acknowledge the fact that like we have this platform that we can, push to do good and stuff like that, and we want to do that. So obviously, support Black local businesses and stuff like that, especially like in your area, especially if you're in one of those areas that don't have like a big protest going on, stuff like that. Like if you just Google like Black owned restaurants near me, a lot of information will pop up with that, like either articles or like an actual like Google resource for it too. And I know I think Postmates as well actually has like a Black owned tag. Like they've always had it in there, so you could like go do it that way.
Really?
I think so.
No way. That's cool.
I could be very wrong on that. I could just be making that up in this fairyland inside of my head, but I'm pretty sure that there are like things built into apps that if like some algorithm thing that just kind of like acknowledges that, which kind of might be a little fucked up, but whatever. But yeah, support those places. There's plenty of resources for you to find where those places are. Give them money, buy their products.
Use your resources. I see a lot of people saying like, like asking their like Black friends and stuff like, oh, well, can you educate me? Can you point me in the right direction or whatever? And like, while it is nice that you are like seeking, like, oh, like, how do I, it's not their job to educate you. You can Google, you can ask your white friends if you have to, but that just like, I mean, it's not like a Black person's job to teach you how to be an ally. Like you have access to the internet, you have access to, you can see how other people are doing it. Like you can, just like form your own opinions and do your own thing. But
also too, it's not like as from like an outside looking in, like obviously this perspective isn't necessarily true for everybody or even representative of anything. But if I like that, to me kind of sounds like it's a little performative. Like, oh, I need to make this person know that I'm like trying to be an ally.
That I'm trying.
Like, no, like, you should just do it. That's how they'll know that you're an ally. So like that's, I think that's kind of a big point for that too. It's just like, just do it. Like there's plenty of ways to do it. And it's not a competition. There are no fucking tiers of like ally-dom. No. Like you just do it. And that's just, and get out there and vote, replace the people that you think are, oppressing all these other people. Like we can't, like this, this has been a system that's been in place forever. So like you said, like they didn't help build it. So why?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not only their job to take it down.
And I think that's a lot too. Like if we're on a higher rung of a ladder, why wouldn't you want to, reach down and help people up? Like that just seems kind of shitty. So just from like a humanistic standpoint, put in that effort to help the people that need it.
And I will also say that don't like keep an open mind when you're like doing these things and stuff, because obviously the term like performative activism has come into play a lot the past week, and be receptive to people's feedback, I'd say, because it is really easy to get caught up in a performative movement, like the whole black square thing and the whole whatever. So be receptive to people reaching out and maybe being like, hey, maybe instead of doing this, maybe we could do this, whatever. And don't automatically assume that they're taking it out on you or that you're a bad person or like, oh, well, now I can't help. Like, just be receptive, as we should be in our everyday life. But especially now, I think that it's, you're not doing something wrong, unless you're overtly like, oh my God, like, fuck this or whatever. Like if you're actively trying and someone's like, hey, maybe try this instead, you're not doing anything wrong. Don't get discouraged. Don't be like, oh, well, don't get defensive. Also, don't be like, well, I'm fucking trying to help. What do you want? Just listen.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the whole fucking point of this, is like, you just gotta listen to what the people are actually like telling you is the better way of doing things. So like what Nick was saying, if you don't be upset if someone's like, hey, there's a better way to do this or a better way to say that. Why don't you try it this way? Like that's literally just them helping you help them. Like it's not, they're not they're not upset with you at all. No one's going to be upset. I mean, unless, you give them a reason to be upset, but for the most part, people they just want to educate. They just want to help out. They're just trying to, tell you that there is a better way that some of these things can be. And you don't want to get, swept up in kind of the social mentality of, oh, they're all doing this, so I have to jump on board kind of thing. Like these things are evolving. We are kind of piggybacking onto movements that have been started that weren't necessarily for us, but there's a better way of like pushing those out, you know? So like,
right.
It's not necessarily for us to say what is the right or wrong way to do it. It's the right for, you know, the Black community and stuff like that to tell us what is the better way of doing this. And then
right. We're not here to lead a fucking like they know what needs to be done at least, and they know what they want. They've been fighting for it their entire lives. We are not here to step on their toes and be like, oh, let's do this. Oh, actually, like, you know, we're here to listen to what they need and use our voices that have, you know, systematically been louder because of just the, you know, the policies and just the fucking institutions that have been put in place to just amplify their voices. We're not here to detract from that. We're not here to be like, you know, so just keep that in mind. Just be wary of that, you know, everyone, as you're either at the protests or, you know, posting resources or doing whatever it is. Just keep that in mind, that we're not here to lead anything as far as deciding what is best for something that does not affect you.
Absolutely. And as like a disclaimer for kind of everything that we've already said and probably things that we will say later, if something of what we say is incorrect or inaccurate, if there's a better way for us to say that or do that, please let us know. Obviously, as we said,
we are very receptive.
Yeah, we will take that to heart and we'll do better. Like that's the whole point of this. So, I absolutely, as things evolve and change and grow and things have, you know, a better understanding behind it, like a better like mass understanding of things, let us know. If we say anything wrong, just correct us. We're cool with that.
Yeah, we'd rather be corrected about something and change, you know, a behavior or a rhetoric or something early on, rather than like keep saying it and then, you know, finding out, hey, like later that this thing we've been saying this whole time is like, you know, incorrect. Yep, so
absolutely. And so
reach out.
Yeah, always. We're very, very receptive to feedback, and we always need it.
That's the whole point of this podcast. That's the whole point.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's not hard to be a better person. It's not hard to help somebody be a better person. So fuck it.
Yeah. And with that, I mean, if something else comes up that we feel like we need to say, we will say it. Absolutely. We are here for you. Black Lives Matter. We are here we will defend that tooth and bone in whichever way, you know, whatever way we can.
Absolutely.
And we just felt that we needed to, not that anyone asked, but that's our part. That's what it is. That's what it is. So
and if you've been like following me and stuff on Instagram, I've been like putting a whole bunch of stuff out for like resources and other places, both in LA and partly in Indiana. So feel free to find those resources, those places to donate, those places that you can volunteer for. Do what you can, give what you can. And we'll probably post some stuff either like on like our personal stuff, or maybe just leave the stuff in the description of different like funds and stuff that you know, have been credited of being like good ones to donate to, and push those a little forward. And if there's other ones there as well, you know, throw them in the comments, throw them our way, and we can push them elsewhere.
Yeah, 100%.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, holy shit. I mean, we're with you.
Yep.
We're with you all. We're here.
There's always more that we can do. So obviously, an attempt to do that. So yeah. Thank you, everybody. We love you all.
Yeah, thank you all.
And you know, thanks for sticking with us.
Appreciate it. We really do. It's been a crazy couple of months. So just everyone just hanging in there, doing the best they can.
Just think about it. Like when we started this, I think the Australia wildfires were like still a big deal. That was 3-4 months ago. That was February.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is February. 4 months ago.
This has been 6 months of the first decade. So
dude, it has like, what the fuck is happening this year? It's one thing after the other, but holy shit.
It's very strange.
Did you see that? You know who Virgil Abloh is? He is the CEO of Off-White and also like the creative director for Louis Vuitton. Okay. So he's like big deal.
Yeah.
In the fashion community and whatever. He's also a black man. And he posted a screenshot of him donating to someone's bail fund, $50.
Oh,
that was something that he thought he should be proud of. He's like, oh, I stand in solidarity, whatever. And then next, it was like one of those multiple posts. And next one was $50 Cash App. Bro, I was looking on Off-White's website. They sell binder clips for $100.
Dude.
They sell socks for $200.
See,
they sell markers for more than $50.
Oh my god, dude, the whole, that's annoying because like, again, I understand it. Like there's like he's still helping to a degree, but like that's not the same thing, dude.
It's not.
Like I've seen plenty of my friends and like other people that I follow that have donated around that, and I'm just like, there's no way in fuck that like you really can that you can do that and be okay. Like I know that that's like a lot of money to them, and so it's like seeing this dude who sells binder clips for $100 doing that, that's like kind of like just a slap in the face of the whole thing.
Oh, it totally is.
So
100%, dude. It's so insane. I was like, what do you like? And he hasn't responded either. That was like, yes, it was like a day ago.
God, so it's just been sitting there. He hasn't deleted the post or anything.
It's been sitting there. Post is still up. It's just like just a $50 Cash App. He's like, do your part. Yeah, bitch, do your part.
Damn.
What the hell?
That's insane.
It's insane. It's so crazy. It's so nuts.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I'm very like upset at that. But I'm also just like well, we did donate, but that's not an excuse.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, it's, you know, okay. Here's the thing. I will say it is dumb of me and of anyone to bash people who are donating in general because they're donating and that's the whole goal. So who am I to be like, okay, well, that's all you're going to donate? But to an extent, the caveat is if you're a fucking multi-millionaire who is the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company who sells shoes for thousands of dollars and who is the creative director of one of the biggest luxury brands on the planet, hey, I'm gonna shame you if you send $50 fucking dollars.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, dude, that's
so dumb. Dude.
I'm surprised like he hasn't had like a PR team jump on that yet. That's insane.
That's what I'm saying. No statement has been made. It's just chilling there.
That's incredible. So he's probably hiding in his bunker. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the move, dude. It's fucking nuts. I will say though that some companies that have been doing cool things are just like Voices. Nickelodeon. Did you see what Nickelodeon did?
But they broadcast that like live too, right? Like on air.
They broadcasted it live. Yeah, Nickelodeon broadcasted. They're like, hey guys, we're going off the air for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, which is how long George Floyd was held under that guy's knee. So 8 minutes and 46 seconds. It was just a black screen with a timer counting down, and then like every once in a while, like according to like the real-time timestamps of what was said by George Floyd, there'd just be like text on the bottom of the screen that like, you know, fade in and out. And it was fucking, dude, I sat there, watched the whole thing. Like it was, oh my God. First of all, can't even imagine that amount of time with, you know, not being able to breathe, and holy shit, that's insane. But like for a huge corporation to do that also caters mainly to children, which they're saying like, let's create a fucking like
what a good example to set for like their target audience of like 8 to 14 year olds. Like that's kind of dope.
It's sick. It's great. Apple Music today blocked the browse feature. There's only one thing you can do on Apple Music today, and it is listen to a curated radio of only black artists. If you go on Apple Music, you can't listen to any other music.
That's incredible
today.
Love that.
Yeah. So there are people that are taking big stands. There are people that I would expect that have not said anything yet, which is surprising, but there are, you know, big corporations using this. I think that like as fucked up as everything is and as scary as everything is right now, like something is going to change. Something has to change, dude. So many people are speaking out. Like this was like the last straw. Like I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah. And it's like, it's kind of incredible too, because like, you know, there's still like a pessimistic side to it where it's just like, okay, well, like all of these things have happened for so long and it's still 2020 and they're still doing this. And like people still need to fight for that. And it's like insane that it's gone on this long. So it's like part of the pessimistic side is like, oh, well, sure, they might get like a consolation prize, but nothing's really going to be done. But like the more that I look at it and like the bigger the protests I see and like the more people that speak out and the more things that go out, it's just like the voice is too loud. Like it's too loud to not have something like major come out of it, just based off of how everything else has been going. I just really hope that, you know, people get out and vote and try to do stuff. And while we were sitting here, I posted about how one of the polling locations that's in like in Mishawaka back home, which is a city outside of South Bend, they closed the polling booth. Like, it's not open today. It's like a very normal one that people go to.
Why?
No idea. So it's probably due to, you know, like stopping the spread of corona or something like that. But that is voter suppression. Like
100%. If they're not providing an alternative, if they're not like, hey guys, this is closed, but you can do this instead, then 100% it
exactly.
is. Yeah.
And so one of my friends who lives in Indianapolis just messaged me saying, like, it's bad here too. Like, we're getting reports of like 2.5 hour waiting times, and many of the locations from 2018 aren't even open, and like absentee ballots are not getting counted. And if they weren't received by a certain time, regardless of when they were mailed. So yeah, absentee ballots are also not going to be counted here if they weren't received by noon, regardless of when they were mailed. So that's
what the fuck?
Like, it's some shit, dude.
Yeah.
And so like
that's
that's the thing is I hope people like get out there and vote, because if you're in line, they can't close it until like the line is gone. Like you're good.
Yeah.
So I just hope that people get out there and do something. And it's even more pessimistic to think about, you know, our state of Indiana back home, because we only have 3 counties that like ever go blue ever. And it's, you know, where the 3 biggest colleges are.
It's like Bloomington, West Lafayette.
No, West Lafayette's always red. It's always red.
Is it really?
Because it's an agriculture school, and the area around it is primarily like industrial corporations, farming, like factories and stuff, and farms. Yeah. So obviously, I think it's going to be very red. So it's usually Indianapolis, Bloomington, and St. Joe. So those are the 3. And so it's like disheartening to watch, because it's like there, like I always feel like, okay, well, at least my county went blue and stuff like that, but it's like that's not enough. Right. So I don't know. I'm just hoping people will vote. That's we just need to, if you want to see real change, vote them out. So that's
please.
that's my big thing with this, is like, please, I was like, go vote. Absolutely. There's still primaries.
If you feel like you can do nothing else, this is one thing you can do 100%.
And you absolutely
that is all you.
Yeah, and you should be doing it anyways. Like
you should, right.
It's the easiest thing, and like the absolute, I don't want to say most American, because a lot of places had representative democracies before we existed, but you know what I mean. It's a very like inherently American thing to think.
You cut out, bro.
Oh, wait. It's
I don't know what happened. I can't hear you or see you right now.
Yeah, you're frozen, but I can hear you.
Okay, that was weird. I couldn't hear or see you. I'm good now.
Okay, weird. All right, I'll remember at the 22-minute mark. That was weird. Yeah, you like froze, and I could hear you perfectly, but like your screen was like perfectly frozen. Really weird.
Weird. I couldn't hear you at all.
That's so weird. Fuck.
I heard representative democracy at the end. That's what I heard.
Oh yeah. I was just saying, like, they've like, since it's like the most American thing that like Americans believe in, I guess, is like the ability to vote and stuff like that. So you might as well be fucking doing the most basic of the American freedoms that you got.
Your civic duty. Yeah, exactly. So
absolutely, fucking do it, please. Is one of the coolest things that I've seen come out of this, just like from the creative community, because I follow like a lot of photographers, and so a lot of them are out there, you know, shooting the protests and like getting out there and like, you know, pushing stuff out, making, you know, the people's voice heard, I guess is the best way of saying that. And a lot of them are doing like print sales. So absolutely like support your friends' work by supporting an organization they care about. That's kind of a weird sentence. What I'm saying is, if they're doing donations and stuff like that, you should definitely be supporting your friend's work anyways, but definitely buy one of those prints if you like, if you need some incentive to donate. Is like there's so many like just cool pieces that are like going out there that these people are like this is an impactful piece and like an impactful like thing to show. So like, let's get that out there, and then, you know, give the money to, you know, organizations and funds that really need it. And that's just been kind of cool, is like seeing all of like kind of the charity and stuff like that happening on like the community side. Like so many streamers are donating tens of thousands of dollars from charity streams and
nuts.
Stuff.
It's great.
Yeah, it's great. Absolutely.
Charity streams are nuts, dude. I mean, because they'll like go for like 8-10 hours, and they just got people like constantly donating for 8 hours at a time, and they'll come out with $10,000-$20,000 easy.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy,
great.
and it's just so it's dope. Like, it's really cool to see people like genuinely giving a shit and putting
it's
the
super
time
cool.
and money into it, because this, like, streaming for those guys, that's their livelihood. If they miss out on a day, you know, that's a lot of money that they have just lost. Like, granted, yes, they have like sponsorships and all these other things that are probably doing well for them, but the like fact of the matter is that like a lot of these people are donating just so much of their time and like parts that they could actually be like working and making their money and stuff like that. They're putting forth that effort to kind of push this out, and that's super dope to see, and I kind of really admire that.
It is. It's really nice to see like content creators that you admire, especially like the new age media of content creators. You know, not like the Leonardo DiCaprios and the whatever who have, you know, been, but like the new age, like the YouTubers, the streamers and whatever who are, the Casey Neistats, the David Dobrik's, the, you know, the streamers that were doing their part and like actually putting their money where their mouth is and shit, which is fucking cool.
Yeah, dude. It's really cool. And I think like the cool thing about it too is that a lot of those communities cater to the younger audiences. So like, you know, starting 100%. Them young, showing them, you know, this is how you do things. This is how you create change. This is how, you know, you help people. And that's, I just love that. I love to see that. And like the internet content community as a whole gets a lot of a lot of bad raps, which it deserves most of them. But there is a lot of like very positive things being pushed out through that community. A lot of good things.
Yeah, 100%. It's great. And I think you're right about like the sparking a conversation with, I mean, that's who really I mean, obviously we're doing this for everyone, but like the people who are going to be here the longest, like after this, are the kids right now. So like, it's important to have that conversation and not just like shelter them from what's happening, because it's going to impact their lives, their entire lives. Completely separate from what we were just talking about. I watched this video that was, okay, cool. Now my phone literally just restarted out of nowhere. Sick.
Nice. I love that.
I think
we just had like a little spat with our internet connections there, so we had to restart. But the good thing about I think just reiterating is just, you know, this is fuck, never mind, that was stupid. I don't know what I was saying.
Anyways, move on. And we're back. So I was, again, not related to literally anything. I just thought it was fucking interesting. There's these, I was watching a video on spacesuits and NASA because of the SpaceX launch 3 days ago. Fuck, I don't even remember.
I think it was Friday. Friday was when, or no. I don't remember.
I don't either.
It was over the weekend.
Crazy fucking past 3 days. But yeah, over the weekend. Anyways, the SpaceX launch. I was watching a video on just like the spacesuits that obviously astronauts have to wear. Anyways, so they were going to the ISS, and NASA, we're still using spacesuits from the 70s. Like, they haven't made new spacesuits because they're so expensive, first of all, and also just like the technology it's held up. I mean, it hasn't really like changed that drastically to where it would be worth it to invest in making a new spacesuit, which they are currently doing. But each one of those spaceships that they used, their space suits, cost anywhere from like 15 to 22 million a piece. And this is in the 70s. So with inflation, that's over $100 million a piece at current money. And because of so the only 4 of them on the ISS, only 4 spacesuits are flight ready. All the other ones either have defects or are not like up to code or whatever. So there's only 4. And NASA had to reschedule its first like all female spacewalk or something like that, because the only suits that were flight ready, they didn't have enough that were small enough to fit all the women. So like, they're literally like, it's such as, I'd never thought about that, but they're so expensive. And so right now they're developing this new kind of spacesuit technology that I guess is not, I mean, I guess it's similar. Not really anything has changed about the needs that you have when you're in space. I just think it'll be more efficient and maybe lightweight or whatever the fuck. But like, I mean, you think of all the things that they have to do. It's basically like a spaceship, but like, you know, fit to conform a human. Like, it has to protect you from a vacuum. It has to protect you from like radiation. It has to protect you like from like how fucking bright the sun is here with an atmosphere. Imagine how bright it is when you stare at it out in space. So like it has to have just all kinds of technology. And it's just like, I never ever thought of that. But like, yeah, they're
dude, that's wild.
15 mil a piece, dude, into the 70s.
That's fucking crazy.
It's nuts.
Jesus. You know what the sad part is like that in terms of like a national budget thing is like such a drop in the
so
bucket.
Small, dude.
And they're just like, nah, we don't need that. And it's just like,
yeah,
that's something we should be funding. Just saying.
Yeah, 100%. It is. So like this next, they've put like $250 million into research and development for this new spacesuit. That's going to be like, this is like the one that they're saying is going to take us to like the moon and to Mars and shit like that. So like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. Pretty fucking cool. But, I
can fuck with that.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
And it's being done by like, by NASA, or is it like an outside company?
It's NASA. Yeah.
Okay,
well, it's probably I don't know if how that works. Like if they contract people or companies or government agencies for that, but like NASA is like, it's like NASA's money and NASA's like spearheading the movement. Cause
fuck yeah. Yeah. I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's pretty tight.
It's pretty sick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And,
dude, space is cool.
Space is so sick, dude. When I was younger, all I wanted to be was an astronaut. Like that's all I wanted to be. I had so many astronaut books and like, oh my God, I fucked with it so heavily. I think it's too scary for me now. I don't think I'd be able to do it. I don't think I have like the mental like strength that it would take to do everything that an astronaut has to do.
Oh, so. Absolutely. Yeah. That's like a whole different like breed of human being to be able to strap themselves to a bomb and jettison themselves into the most inhospitable atmosphere or conditions that human beings have ever known.
Yeah.
Like but like that concept is fucking horrifying to me.
So much can
I couldn't
go
imagine
wrong
literally doing it
in the first 30 seconds before they even take off. Like literally imagine sitting there like so dude, the statistics for like, you know, on launch blowups or mishaps or whatever is probably astronomical. Like imagine sitting there like you're probably fighting all these emotions of like, oh my God, I'm about to go into space, but like, oh my God, I could die in 10 seconds. Like literally they're counting down to my possible death. Like that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, dude. And it's like crazy too, because like mishaps still fucking happen. Like literally a couple weeks ago, Virgin tested their most recent rocket. I don't even know if it was a couple weeks ago. It might have been a couple of days ago at this rate. Time is weird.
Time's weird.
And it's a rocket that's supposed to go kind of low Earth orbit. So it's not like super powerful to break through the atmosphere. So it gets a lift on a 747, gets dropped off the wing of the plane and then launches itself.
Oh shit.
I only know this because my roommate in college used to work for them. And so
for Virgin,
this whole, and now he's at a company in Colorado.
Sick.
But like the whole thing was like it's supposed to be dropped off the plane basically to, you know, give it like an atmospherical jump. Instead of being launched down here, it's launched up here, whatever.
Right.
And it detached from the plane and like the engine just didn't fire and it just dropped into the ocean.
With people on it?
No, it's like it's a satellite. Like, launch system,
I got
basically.
you. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no. There's no people in that one.
Fuck, dude, that's insane.
It's
imagine how far. I mean, that's just like the world's most expensive. Like, oopsie, you know.
Yep. Like you just dropped like millions of dollars into the water.
Gosh,
like for just cause basically. It's the whole thing is just funny to me, but it's also like, damn, that was a lot of money and a lot of time invested.
Yeah, imagine just how disheartening that shit is. You spend so long, you're just like, oh my God, we just made the iPhone 10 of satellites, and then fucking like, here we go. This is a keynote. This is the keynote speech, baby. Steve Jobs about to walk out on stage. It just falls into the ocean. Like, fuck. Pull it. Stop the live stream.
No, we're done. Oh my God. That's so funny, dude. Holy shit.
God damn. Just so disheartening.
I mean, like, that's like, and like, that was the way the X2 was launched too. Like back with Chuck Yeager and everything when we first broke, like the sound barrier was just like, all right, we're going to drop him. We're going to see how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, it's so,
just so funny
insane that like this like industry with billions of dollars behind it, and that's just like such an, you know, it's at the forefront of a lot of like new advances that we make. It's so like it's such a like it's so, not that they're bad at their job because fucking whatever, but it's such a like what they're dealing with is so unpredictable that like they can spend billions of dollars and still just like, boop, my space shuttle just fell into the ocean. Oops.
Yep. Yep. Like Jeff Bezos owns Blue Origin, which is another like big rocket company. And like that motherfucker, like if he drops like $1 million rocket into the ocean, fuck it, whatever. He'll just buy 12 more.
Yeah,
like that's
exactly.
and that's like an insane thing to think about.
Oh, I know.
Like that dude could just go out with his checkbook and just buy
scale of
rockets.
his wealth is fucking insane to think to like, you know,
It's-
the difference
it's
between
like
a million.
unfathomable.
Yeah. The difference between $1 million and $1 billion is insane. It's about $1 billion. Like literally that's what like people say. Like they're like, oh, like what's the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire? About $1 billion. Like
Yep.
it's fucking insane how much that number is. And he's on his way to become a trillionaire. Sorry, what?
Yeah, like within the decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally he would have more wealth than most of like the world. Like he alone.
Combined. Oh yeah, even like the top billionaires combined. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And that's like unfathomable. Like
It really
for most
is.
people, like $1 million is like an absolutely unattainable,
Yeah.
like a fairy tale.
Imagine
amount of
literally
money.
$1 million times that. If that's $1 trillion, $1 million times
Yeah.
$1 million is fucking
Yeah.
insane.
And to just have that as one man,
Yeah.
dude, like I just like it. I'm in like physical pain thinking about it.
I know. Just like the amount,
It's
like
so
I can't even break it down on like a realistic scale. Like literally, like I don't know if you like have you seen those videos where like the people will render like a 2 scale version of like a dollar bill, and then they'll like they'll like stack them up, and they're like, this is how
or
much.
they'll like show it like as like football fields
Yeah.
of money.
Yeah.
It's like, which is still fucking insane to think about.
Yeah. It's insane, dude. Yeah, fucking no one needs that much money. No one needs $1 trillion. What the fuck are you gonna do, bro? What are you gonna do with $1
Just
trillion?
let it sit in a bank account.
Just let it accrue. Just fuck it. Yeah, what the fuck? It's nuts. It's nuts.
It's just so fucking annoying and frustrating.
Yeah, it truly
But
is.
whatever.
But hey, that's fucking I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, it is frustrating, and it's hard to think about without getting frustrated. It just
Yep.
But whatever.
Yep.
Speaking of future technology and shit like that, there's this. I was reading about this. It's like a USB little stick, right? And it's got this sticker on it. It makes it looks all futuristic and shit like that. Who's selling it? I don't know who's selling it. I gotta look. It's some company. I don't know. Anyways, it's called a BioShield, right? I don't know. Nope, that doesn't show the company. Anyways, it's called the 5G BioShield. And the company that makes it says, through a process of quantum oscillation, the 5G BioShield USB key balances and reharmonizes the disturbing frequencies arising from the electric fog induced by devices such as laptops, cordless phones, Wi-Fi, tablets, etc., and provides protection for your home and family thanks to the wearable holographic nano layer catalyzer. Which can be worn or placed near a smartphone or any other electrical radiation or EMF emitting device. First of all, it just sounds.
Are they running the new Star Wars? What the fuck?
I was gonna say
dude?
it just sounds like some fucking like Obi-Wan Kenobi Padawan like midichlorian count shit. They just threw out so many words that they're just like, all right, let's go on thesaurus.com and like type in science and just like
let's bombard people with words so that they think that it's actually a real thing.
fucking wearable holographic nano layer catalyzer. Sorry, what the fuck is that, dude? What the fuck is that?
Is that just a hologram? Like,
Right?
what?
Like, do you
I don't
wear
understand what this is supposed to be.
Anyway, so it's a literal USB stick, and it costs like $300 or something stupid like that. So this guy on Twitter, he bought it, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna do an in-depth teardown on my website. So he posts on his website and shit, and he's like, essentially at its core. So he's like, he like takes apart everything. He's like, at its core, it is a USB stick with 128 megabytes of storage. 128 megabytes. All right. That they're selling for $300. And so he runs all these diagnostics, these like BIOS tests, like everything. And he's like, first of all, the USB stick itself, it's a USB stick. There's on it, there's a PDF, which is like 30 pages of like what it's supposed to do or like the harmful radiation that it's supposed to be blocking. And then he said there's a sticker on top that's supposed to be like the nano layer catalyzer. And so he like goes in, he's got like a microscope, he's got like all these tools, and he takes it off. He's like, it's a fucking sticker. It's a literal sticker. There's no electronics in the sticker. It's a piece of paper with like it's like a holographic piece of paper. And he's like, don't fucking buy it. But they can market shit
What?
like this. They just throw like a bunch of fancy sci-fi words together, slap a $300 hashtag on it, and like use it for like, you know, cater to the people who are being fear mongered about 5G radiation. It's nuts. He's like, the manual says like all this shit like that would dispel any myths or whatever. Like, well, how do I know it's working? And they're like, oh, it's always on. It uses always on technology to create a barrier. So you never have to worry about any kind of visual cues or any lights or anything, because it's always on. And just like dumb shit like that, where it's like, oh, okay.
And isn't that what like people are already scared about?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. It's so
What
goofy,
the fuck, dude.
5G BioShield through a process of quantum oscillation. Tell me what the fuck quantum oscillation is.
I'm pretty sure that's just like a natural process. Like it just exists.
It's
like that's just how like molecules work.
So fucking
that could
funny.
Be completely fucking.
I don't know, dude. Oscillation sounds like going back and forth. Quantum things are going back and forth. Like, oh, I'm protecting you from 5G, bitch. It's me. I'm quantum. Quantum is
like, isn't that just? Yeah, isn't that just like how it fucking works anyways?
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's just normal shit. It's like, okay, this is gonna help you guys.
Yep, it is. Just plug it in. It's always on. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't take it apart also, but don't worry about it. Hey, you'll be protected.
It's literally like you said, it's just some dude named Quantum with like a baseball bat, and he just like walks around your bed like at night while you're asleep. Like that's his whole shtick.
$300 is like it pays his hourly rate for like a day or something like that. He's like, all right, once you order it, it comes with this guy. He'll hand deliver it to you, and then he'll stick around for the rest of the day. The $300 is actually just his day rate, so you have to keep paying it if you want it back, but it'll protect you. Anytime he like goes to your house, he's like, all right, smashes the fuck out of your microwave. He's like, what's this, a microwave? Phone's on the table. Like, phone's on the fucking table. He just smashes them.
He takes them outside and just like gets them into like the other like the neighbor's backyard.
It's their problem now. It's their problem now. I'm quantum.
He breaks like the window to like a car and just starts beating the shit out of like everything inside
all the
of it.
electronics. He just like no. And like the family's just watching in shock. They're like, what the fuck? He's like, you're protected. All right, what's for dinner? I'm here for another 4 hours.
And the food was included in my rider. Did you
see it? Did you get it? It's actually in the PDF from you got to plug the thing into your laptop. Oh, I destroyed your laptop. Sorry. It's in the PDF. My rider hospitality shit. It's all in there. Anyways, let me just read it for you.
It's page 7. It's page 7 through 14 on that the PDF that explains to you how that USB stick works. But I had to break the USB stick because quantum.
Oscillation. That's what I do. I'm an oscillating and nano layers with the
I'm gonna oscillate this bat through all of your electronics. He just vibrates really hard. Instead of a bat, it's like a massive just vibrator.
Little bullet. He presses the top. You press it a couple different times.
It's like a lightsaber.
Different patterns.
Oh my god, that'd be incredible. He can only speak through Morse code of vibration, so he just has to like open his mouth at the right times.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
That's fucking hilarious. Quantum is a man, dude. Quantum is a fucking man with a bat. That's so good. That's good shit. I love that.
It's wonderful. God.
But anyways, that's that. Don't buy a $300 USB. Anyways, and who would buy a $300 USB stick unless it was like 30 terabytes?
Yeah,
but don't spend $300 on a USB.
That's like that shit where they're like trying to sell you like the miracle holy water on like an infomercial, and some guy's like, I bought the miracle holy water and my taxes were paid in full. It's like, what?
By you?
What?
That's the disclaimer.
I was like, how does that come back to this? Like, how did this cause this? Where is like the action in the middle of it that
ties it together? I don't know, dude. It's like, it's so surprising to me. There must be some subsection of laws where they're just very good at wording things where they're not technically false advertising and not technically breaking any laws. Like they're, because like a lot of these infomercials or just like new technologies or whatever claim, they have some hefty claims and they're not generally not like true, especially not all of them, but like the more propaganda leaning ones, like this thing, or like the, the like holy water that, oh, I did this and this, or like the whatever. Like there's got to be, because obviously false advertising is illegal, but like there's got to be some like loophole that they've found that they can exploit and just like sell. Oh, okay, like this. There's this company, and it's run by Pablo Escobar's brother.
Okay.
And what they do is they essentially repurpose and like rebrand luxury items. So like specifically like phones and technology and stuff like that. So they have like this thing called like the Escobar phone. And it's like, supposed to be this like luxury experience or whatever. And so like you buy this phone, and they've had a couple of iterations. So like the Escobar phone 2 is the most recent one. And it's just like an iPhone 11 Pro, right? But it's like plated in 24 karat gold, and it comes in like this box or something like that, like this like really nice box with like a story or like some crazy thing like that. But essentially like, okay, so, but here's the thing. I watched this YouTube video on it, and it was this guy he does a lot of tech reviews. He's like a big tech reviewer. He's like, I initially bought the Escobar phone 1 along with a lot of other people because they put a lot of dollars into marketing. They got a lot of Instagram like influencers and shit like that to be in their ads and to like post pictures like with their Escobar phone and shit like that. And they're like, oh my God, it's a gold phone. It's luxury type shit. So this guy placed an order, a bunch of people placed in orders. Then they just didn't ship them out at all. They just didn't like ship them. And so then he's like, okay, so when the second one came out, he was able to get his hands on one, but then he basically explained what they're doing is like, they're just creating this like, sense of grandeur and this whatever, where first of all, it's just a phone. It's just an iPhone. Like they're selling it at a ridiculously upcharge because they just put some gold on it. But also like because of some like rules or some whatever that like they literally have just been able to collect all these people's money and then not actually deliver the product. I forgot exactly why, but it's literally like no one is going after them and because of some specific rule, but it's insane what they're doing.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's also like hilarious that it's Pablo Escobar's brother. That's really funny.
He's like, I'm not as notorious. I'm just gonna sell iPhones.
Exactly. He's like, I'm only associated with notoriety. So yeah. I'm gonna sell this really heavy rectangle to people.
Yeah, exactly. It's so
not, I guess, but
yeah, right. I'm gonna pretend like I am.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah,
I guess that's kind of like the whole thing about how you can't say in advertising that you are expressly better than something else. Mm-hmm. Being like Ford, being like we are better than Chevrolet,
right?
But you can present it in a way that it's like these other people voted saying that we were better than these guys.
Exactly.
Or saying
we're saying it, but this like I totally get you. Like voted most whatever by X magazine or voted this by Consumer whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Right. And then there's like the whole thing too where it's like you can say that like you're number one in America or something, so long as you're like you're not directly saying that you're better than another thing. You can just say that.
You can just say that hey, we're the number one burger in America, even though like you're not like, oh, we're better than Burger King, but like you can't say that, but you can say like, oh, we're number one. That's or like voted number one, or we're the best. That's crazy, dude. That's so. I mean, because that's what advertising is. It's like spinning a story to match what you need it to do, or spinning a statistic or whatever. So like that's so interesting that there's like specific. I mean, obviously there's specific laws of what you can and can't say, but like the things that you can say are surprisingly lenient.
Yeah, yeah, it's and like you can also like skew it to be like, that's not what the intention was.
Yeah, 100%.
And like just move on, and that's the whole thing is just wild.
It's so skeevy, like, kind of low key. Exist. It's like very like like you're kind of playing the system
out. Yeah, you can just like blatantly lie to people, and still it's technically legal.
It's legal. That's nuts.
It's kind of crazy.
That's insane. Fuck. It's kind of interesting though.
Yeah, dude. Every system is a little broken, some more than others.
That's a fact. That's a big fact right there. If we can take away anything, systems are need to get fixed. It.
Yeah, but yeah, that's so fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's fucking insane. Anyways,
like I'm trying to think of like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a scenario in which like that's totally fine. and it just doesn't. It doesn't. None of it works.
Well,
Maybe if
that's
there was
what
a
like
recall,
all of
but they didn't
those
recall anything.
all of those YouTubers and all of those whatever who sell their like, this is I'm selling a 30-day business class on how to gain 1 million Instagram followers or how to do whatever. And then like in reality, like the product obviously not everyone who watches this shit is gonna get 1 million Instagram followers. And I'm sure they put disclaimers on it and shit like that. But then half the time, like a lot of people, it's just been swept under the radar where they're like, they'll do a subscription service, like, pay me this amount of money and then it'll just charge your card every month to gain access to my, to my videos and whatever. And then like one day the website will just go offline, but it'll keep charging their fucking cards and shit like that's happened with like Jake Paul. It's happened with Prince E. It's happened with like so many people that just like, oh, well, I have what people want and whatever, but they're not getting in trouble for it. They're just like it's somehow just, oh yeah, it's just a thing. Like it's weird.
Oops, my bad.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to.
Sorry, I've been charging you thousands and thousands of dollars over the course of 2 years, and you can't get in touch with a customer service because it doesn't exist. Yeah,
That's so crazy. Like just like the sheer fact that like somebody had to sit down and be like, I'm going to do this like very predatory practice because it's going to make me money, and they're just like, cool,
Yeah.
and just go along with it.
Yeah.
So that's fucking weird to think about, that somebody was just like, yeah, that's fine.
I know.
I'm fine with it.
I know. It's kind of nuts.
Fucking wild.
Kind of nuts, but I don't know. It exists. It's a thing. It's a thing that people do.
Yeah. Fucking weird. Things are strange, man. Things are strange.
That guy from last week who wanted the strip club art, he got back in touch with me and he's like, okay, I found someone to do that because he wanted an illustration. I'm like, I can't do an illustration. He's like, he got back in touch with me and he's like, I want something like this. And I'm like, okay, that's something I can do, whatever. Except he didn't expressly say, this is what I want. He didn't say like, okay, I want, like a rose with some fire, whatever. He didn't say any like specific instructions. He was just like, listen to this new single that's coming out and you do kind of what you think would fit. And I'm like, okay, well, can you send me like some reference shots or just like albums or pictures that you think fit this aesthetic, just so I can have something to go off of?
A mood board.
Yeah, a mood board. Send me. Yeah, exactly. He's like, okay, sends me some stuff. I'm like, cool, great, can do this. So I work on it. I make him something that I think looks good, and then I send it to him. And the feedback that he left was, because I give customers a certain number of revisions depending on the package that they buy anyway. So they can he requested a revision, and usually they'll say like, oh, I didn't like this. Can you do this instead? Blah, blah, blah. His revisions, this is exactly what it said. He said, I hate this so much. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. You literally couldn't be farther from what I want. And that was that. And I was like, okay, so I can't be like, fuck you, right? Because I have to be professional. So I'm like, oh, for sure. Thanks for the feedback, dude. Could you give me some kind of direction as to, where to go with this? Like what you didn't like about it specifically? Didn't fucking respond. So I hit him back this morning. I'm like, hey man, just looking for some, any kind of feedback so I can send you the next version. Fucking nothing. So you literally couldn't be farther from what I wanted. Bitch, what does that mean?
I'm so sorry that it seems like I'm laughing at you, but that's just like funny. The funniest fucking thing, dude.
He's like, I hate this so much. Can you imagine anything? First of all, I understand that this is a service that he, it's his brand, so he wants it to be on brand. So like, but can you imagine hiring someone to do something and then like after the first pass, just like, instead of being like, oh, could you actually do this? Being like, I hate this so much. You hire someone to like redo your tiles or something, and they bring you like 3 options for your kitchen for like, okay, it could be anyone. Like, what do you think about this color? It fucking sucks. And then like, you don't even say anything about the other 2 colors that he brought.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Like the best part is that he just like, first of all, the dude came to you in the first place because he clearly saw that like there was a thing that you could do that he thought that you could deliver on. Left, came back, and then was just also still like, hey man, like somehow he values you enough to be like, all right, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna get him to do something for me. And the thing that he gets, he just absolutely
He
hate.
shits on it. He's like, this couldn't be farther from what I'm looking for. Bitch, I didn't, what do you, like, he's acting like I gave him a blank white piece of paper with like some crayon with a pony or some shit. Like, bro, what the fuck? What the fuck do you want?
Dude, that's so funny.
He gave me like 3 pictures to choose from of himself, and he's like, kind of whatever. So I'm like, okay. So I used one of the pictures. So it's not like I'm like I'm using the assets that he gave me. I don't know. Right. I don't know. So goofy.
He just wants something. He just wants something that you can't. That he thinks that you can't provide him, and I don't think he actually knows what the fuck he wants.
I don't think
or
he
at least
does
how
either.
to articulate it to somebody.
I don't think he does either. It's just so ridiculous. Just the concept of saying, I fucking hate that to anyone that you buy something from is so funny. It's so funny.
It's like such like an entitled thing to say.
It is.
Like, I'm going to give you money for this thing, and then still being like, I hate this thing, and then walking away with it. Like, what the fuck, dude? What the absolute hell?
So
Why did
dumb.
you give money to it if you didn't want it in the first
Right?
place?
You didn't give me any kind of whatever. You just like go into a bakery. You're like, bake me a dozen cookies. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. Bake me a dozen cookies. Okay, what kind of? Just bake me a dozen. Hey, listen to my vision right now. I want a dozen cookies, and you interpret from that what kind of cookies to make me. I'll be back tomorrow. Comes back tomorrow. Hey, do you have those cookies? Yep, they're right here. Ugh, this fucking sucks, dude.
And then you just leave. You just
I know.
leave.
And then-
You don't do anything else.
Oh, this couldn't be farther than from what I'm looking for. It turns around. Oh, we can make a new batch of. What do you want, sir? Sir, what do you?
And you just never see him again.
Never ever.
That's it. That's just how that story ends for some fucking reason.
Gross, dude. Yuck. Ugh. What is this made out of?
I thought you said you were gonna make me cookies, not this shit. Runs away.
What is in this? Flour and sugar and egg. Oh, gross.
Dude, I'm allergic to eggs. I thought you knew that. I thought I articulated that with my vision. Walks away.
Oh my god.
Just leaves.
It's so fucking funny. That's so funny to me. No feedback.
I'm sorry that had to happen at your expense, but that's so funny.
It's so funny. I hate this.
Oh my!
Just straight face. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. And just turns around and leaves.
You know he was like fuming when he wrote that too, for like whatever reason.
I know. I could tell.
Oh
I feel like
God.
he's taking it out on me by not replying to me, and he just wants me to make another mistake when I deliver him V2. Like he just wants to be like, "This is bad again." When that's your fault at this point, my guy.
This is his power move of him hiring a new court jester after killing the other one because he like didn't do a joke the right way.
He just like, you delivered that line wrong. The emphasis goes on the other word.
And just like
appoint me a new
spears it in the
jester.
throat.
Appoint me a new one.
It's like a conveyor belt. That one just like falls through a trap door and another one drops down from the ceiling.
He's like, perform. What would you like me to perform for you, sire? Perform. Okay, do you want jokes? Do you want juggling? Look at my face. Interpret what I want. Okay.
I'm articulating to you my message with my face.
Which
fucking
is
perform.
what I want. Now perform. Okay, this is a little trick I like to call the upsy downsy. It's me on a unicycle. I'm juggling some balls. He like whispers to his like, kill him. This fucking sucks. What can I do? This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
He just like looks up to like a crossbowman like on the other side of the palace, and he's just like
the guy's like
he's just like yeah, all's up. That's it.
That
Drops
was the worst
another
thing
one
I've
down.
ever seen. Next. Holy
Unit
shit.
A34 perform better than Unit A33, or you will meet the same fate. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Read the room. Read my face. Interpret.
All these people like have walked into the castle just like, didn't even know we had a king.
Like, who's
going
this?
on?
Oh, that's the leader. Okay, cool.
He's just like drinking a Slurpee, just like, hey, I guess.
Oh
Works
god,
out.
that's so funny. That's so good. So I guess we'll see. I'm gonna deliver him V2 a little later today, and I'll see. What
You're still gonna do it anyways?
Yeah, I mean, they're fucking. I'll see what he has to say about it. I truly don't know if after this round he says fuck, like he doesn't give me any feedback, then I'm just gonna be like, all right, sorry, man. Here's your fucking money back. I don't know what to do.
All right, man. Just go fuck yourself. Here you go.
All right, man. I appreciate the feedback. Here's your money. Have a nice day.
Also, this is the worst money I've ever seen in my life. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Also,
don't know about that. Fuck you.
Also, hey, this money is literally the farthest thing from what I want. So, see you later.
I actually just want the true camaraderie of a friend, but whatever.
That's all I want. I was hoping to, make friends, make it. That's the thing. He approached me. He's like, hey man, like I really want to work with someone long term. I think this could be a great business relationship. He's like, my last two, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, oh my God, big red flag. He's like, yeah, my last two graphic designers just won't hit me up anymore. They just stop working with me. He's like, so I want someone I can work with long term. And he's like, I'm willing to put everything I've got into this. And I'm like, okay, cool, man. He seems serious about it. The music's actually pretty good. And straight up, just like, now I see why his graphic designers won't reply to him, because he won't reply to them.
Yeah, he won't reply to them, and he also asked for something like that for $20.
Yeah,
so
I know.
So not worth a fucking time.
Stupid, dude.
It's not worth a fucking.
It's not worth it. Anyways,
Jesus Christ,
that's
dude.
that.
That's so fun. Holy shit.
But holy shit, that's the hour, man.
We did it.
We did it.
There we are, baby. Been a fucking weird couple of days, everybody.
Straight up.
But thanks for sitting with us. If you're listening to this one, there's probably 4 other episodes that we have uploaded in that time.
Just big old batch upload. We got like
it's been
10 through 15.
It's been an interesting, exactly, since episode 10. So it's like 11, 12, 13, 14, and now 15. Mm-hmm. We just got behind. A lot of stuff's been going on. Nick's been doing a lot of work, and like his internet's been fucking up, and then I've been doing a lot of work. I'm on like a weird schedule for it. So things just didn't work out the best way as they could, given the circumstances. But we've been doing our best. So there should be a plethora of stuff. If you guys need just a little bit of escapism every now and then, come hang out with us for however long you want to. That's what it's here for. It's what we're here for. Things have been super fucking weird the last couple of weeks and the last couple of days. Things can change, within 24 to 48 hours. So, as always, Black Lives Matter. Go out, do something, give support to who needs it, raise voices that need to be raised, use your privilege, to help those who don't have that privilege, and just be receptive, be open, listen. We're not going to get everything right. There's probably stuff in here we said that is either changed or is different by the time that you're listening to it. So obviously, we may have learned something in that time. You may have learned something in that time. Please educate us if we need it. Obviously, that's what we're here for. We're very receptive to that. We want to learn. We want to grow. We want to be better, both at what we do and as people. Mm-hmm. So obviously, throw stuff in comments if there's things that we should do or shouldn't do going forward. If there's things that we said wrong, did wrong, anything like that, please let us know. We obviously, would address that. It's been great. We're very lucky to kind of have this opportunity to talk with you guys and just kind of have just like a little informal sit down, hang out, chat. That's the whole point of this. It's just supposed to be friends sitting at a table having lunch together. So obviously, all of you are our friends. We view you as such, and want you to do the best you can and be the best you can. So that means holding us accountable, and that means holding each other accountable. Do what we can, learn what we can.
Yeah.
That's been episode 15 of the Lunchtime Serenade podcast, baby.
Yeah. We love you guys. Stay safe out there. Do your part. And if you need anything, any assistance, reach out to those people who can help you. Reach out to us if you need to. And we will see you next week. And have a great week. Have a great productive week. And use your voices. We will. This is a blip. This is a blip in the timeline. We will get over this. We will overcome, and fucking we'll persevere.
Yep. And that's all we can do, is just keep doing our best to be better for everybody else and for ourselves. Do that every day. Good for you. If there are people that can do more, know they can do more. Everybody can.
Exactly.
So and first step is, just something, just a little bit here and there. So as always, guys, we love you. We love every one of you. If you need anything, if there's anybody in the LA area that needs anything that either of us know, do what we can to help out.
Yeah.
So as always, guys, this has been the Lunchtime Serenade podcast, episode number 15. We will see you next week, middle of the day, middle of the week, should things allow.
Yes.
Goodbye, everybody.
Peace.
Love you.